Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, Real Talk. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'd like to thank my subscribers. If you are a subscriber, I do appreciate you. Thank you very much for your support. Okay, and if you're new, welcome in. Feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you. Okay guys, I hope everybody's doing well. Okay. This is not gonna be general messages. Okay, this is a channel message for whoever needs to hear it. Um, if you're drawn in by the title, then there may be something here for you that could be helpful to you, helpful information, something that will open up your eyes to see, your ears to hear, and your heart to accept. All right. No shade to anyone, but this channel message could be a touchy subject because I had to back up and I was like, okay, so Spirit, you sure you want me to speak on that? And it's like I had to be reminded, yeah, because somebody need to hear. Someone is going through something like that, been through it, they done recovered from it, or they done overcome it, but someone needs to hear it, and it needs to be heard. It needs to be shared because people go through this. Men go through it. Women go through it. From my point of it, okay, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I feel like mostly women go through this. Okay. Um, Again, if it's something here for you, I hope that it helps you. But I'm being led to give the message, and it's a touchy subject, y'all. Forgive me. It's a touchy subject. It really is, because Spirit is like, of course, steady working with me as well. I'm on my spiritual journey just like a lot of people are. I'm on my spiritual path. I have a purpose. I'm working on fulfilling that purpose to help other people. And that's why I say Spirit is allowing me to understand and see it's from your own personal experiences as well. And that's what I mean to do. Speak from my own personal experiences, and hopefully it helps someone, because I can't speak on anybody else. I can only tell you from my own experience, and so it's quite a bit to understand when it comes to real, true, genuine, authentic love, and that just boils down to unconditional love. Okay, so when and it could be, you could be male or female watching, all right? You could be in a relationship, don't have to be. You could be very much single. This is something you could have already went through. This is something you could be going through right now as we speak. However it goes for you, I really want to make sure that I encourage you as a person, individual person, but yet as a spiritual being having a human experience. Okay? What's love got to do with it? And I had to think about it, y'all. What's love got to do with it? Because a lot of people get caught up right there and they get stuck with that 4-letter word. What's love got to do with it? But if you really ask yourself that question, if you've already experienced a situation concerning love and you've already overcome it, that's a wonderful thing. It's not easy to do. But when it comes to it, if you've experienced it already, that's something to be proud of. I'm even proud of you. I don't have to know who you are. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. Right? You have a soul. You have a spirit. Right? You have a character. You are somebody. You matter, right? You have feelings, you have thoughts, you have emotions, right? And so whoever this may resonate with, like I said, if I'm led to pull cards on this, I will, but it's a channel message. So I just go forth with the message. So if you've already been through this, congratulations to you for surviving it. Mentally surviving it, spiritually, emotionally, physically surviving it. It's not easy when it comes to love. And a lot of people don't even know the true definition of love. Some people really think that certain types of levels of abuse is mistaken for love. A lot of times. How you're being talked to, how you're being mistreated, you know, abused. And abuse comes in many forms, okay? But the question is, what's love got to do with it? Some people say you got to learn pain in order to learn love, or if you ain't been through no pain, you don't know about love. Well, love is meant to make you feel comfortable. Love is meant to make you feel welcomed, secure, safe, provided for. Love is meant to pray for you, lift you up when you're feeling down. And to me, that doesn't express anything to do with pain. Even though, because how you feel towards a person, that love that you express, it can bring about some pain, yes. And those pains can be taken one of the two ways. You either can use it to your benefit and grow from it, or you can cause it to make you bitter. Okay? Being in a relationship and actually loving a person, love is an action word. Okay? I love you. That four-letter word holds so much weight. It holds a lot of weight. Love. And people do what? They use it in vain. People use it to get what they want. They use it to sleep with you. They use it to get money out of you. They use it to get their way with you. They use it for control. People use it in so many ways. And then they turn around and say, love hurts. But the truth is, love not supposed to hurt. Real true love is not supposed to hurt. That's how you know whether it's true or not. Because a lot of times people experience a lot of pain dealing with this so-called love. Okay? And it's not love itself, it's the way people handle it. Because some people know how to handle love and a lot of people don't. Okay? A lot of people don't. And they mishandle it. And it turns into all kind of horrible things that's considered hurtful, heartache, betrayal, right? And some people just use it to their advantage. So if you are in a relationship where someone calls themselves, or you say you may be in love with that person, and this person will cuss you out at the drop of a dime, this person will haul off and slap you in your face, verbally abuse you, embarrass you in front of people. The question is, what's love got to do with that? Ain't no love in that nowhere. It sounds like control to me. And somebody who's very insecure with themselves. That's what that sounds like. When it comes to a person getting physical with you, Sometimes it could be an act of passion. Passion has to do with love. But it can easily turn into an obsession, or what they call a fatal attraction, which is dangerous, very dangerous. And then some people are in these so-called relationships to where they actually enjoy the abuse. And I hate to say that, but some people, man, that's crazy. Some people, a man can grab a woman and choke her. And they could be very seriously getting into it and angry with one another, yelling and screaming at each other. First thing a man will do is grab her by the throat or something to shut her up. Or pop her in the mouth if she's screaming and yelling at him and he can't win the argument, whatever it is. But my thing is, after the fight, it ends up in the bedroom. And then people have the nerve to label that as makeup sex. But again, what's love got to do with that? And then I've seen unhealthy relationships, because that's what that is. It's very unhealthy. I've seen where people actually enjoy the fight. They fight each other like cats and dogs and turn around, and it reminds me of the War of the Roses movie or Mr. and Mrs. Smith movie. They loving on each other one minute and then they shooting at each other the next minute. That's insane. But that's the movies. We're talking about real life here, people. Real life here. Real life. Love. Some people are afraid of it. And that's because they've been hurt or they don't want to be hurt. But if you're being abused, even if it's verbally, somebody that will verbally abuse you, then turn around and disrespect you, they will physically, sooner or later, they'll physically abuse you. Sooner or later. And again, I don't understand those who think that they mistaken that, some people mistaken that kind of abuse for love. And love has nothing to do with that at all. And it can become a learned behavior. Slapping each other around, boxing and fighting on each other, scratching each other, drawing blood. And then the very next day, it's like nothing ever happened. Nobody sat down and talked about nothing. It's like y'all got this mutual understanding like y'all some forest animals, I don't know who this is for, but someone is dealing with an abusive relationship. That's what I do know, because it's like I said, this is a channel message. Someone is dealing with an abusive relationship. Some of you who may be dealing with that, you could even have children. Yeah, Spirit knew this was a touchy subject for me, but I got to share it because I've been through it. As a child, I've been through it. Very domestic, very violent. Very violent. I grew up in the house with it. My mother had a very abusive man she was with. Very abusive. So it's my own experiences. And the things I saw coming up, they thought we didn't understand what was going on. They thought we didn't know. Okay? My sisters and myself, my brothers. But my thing is, if you are being abused mentally, physically, emotionally, even spiritually so, physically, it's a form of abuse. Love don't abuse. Love don't curse you out. Love don't hit you in the face. Love don't draw blood. Love don't embarrass you in front of people on purpose. Love don't take sex from you, because that's a form of abuse. Love don't slap you in the face and take sex from you. Love don't beat you on Tuesday and beat you on Friday and slap you in the face on Saturday, and then y'all go to church on Sunday morning like nothing ever happened. I don't know who that's for. That's not love. That's a form of abuse, and it's also a form of control. And a lot of times people do this, men and women, because they're selfish too, but they also have an insecurity about themselves. That's insecurity written all over it. It's not love. Love has nothing to do with that. When a person can come in the house and they just pissed off for no reason, angry and mad, and all you're doing is fixing food on the stove, the children minding their business, you're minding your business, and boom, all of a sudden, all the food you just cooked goes upside the wall, and they come in ready to fight. There's something wrong with that picture. And a lot of times, men, if they doing that, there's an insecurity there of oneself. Some of them even seen it growing up in their home, and their fathers had control like that. Okay, for whoever this is for, my goodness. Yes, it's a touchy subject for me. Yes, it is. But I am going to share it because this is the message I was given to share. Someone needs to hear it. If you have children and this is a man that abuses you in front of your kids, this is a man that will verbally abuse you, curse you out. A lot of times these men be having other women outside of their marriages or outside of the house, outside of the relationship of their family, their children and their wives. And these men are angry with these other women because these women ain't acting right, or she done got him for some money, or she done lied to him about a lover she was dealing with, and he the one married. He got a lover at home, his wife. He got a whole family at home. And you don't know he got this woman out there. Or maybe you do know. And he mad at that woman, he come home and take it out on you and them kids. Okay? Somebody's going through it. I don't know who, but somebody's going through it. And Spirit says it's time to go. That's what it is. What's love got to do with it? The children will hurt more staying in that abusive situation. It will hurt the children more than it will hurt you. Because they're the ones suffer the trauma of it. They're the ones suffer with their nerves being shot at a young age, suffering from anxiety, suffering from paranoia, suffering from nightmares. So don't do that to your children. Someone is going through this. Spirit had me come and bring this message for a reason. Somebody's being abused in a relationship. If you're single and you've come out of that type of abuse, I'm happy that you did. It takes a lot of willpower, solar plexus chakra. It takes a lot of willpower, discipline, confidence, self-love, and self-security to plan and walk away. Not only for your own self-survival, but your children. And this is a touchy subject here. Some of you are single. This is what you've come out of. You're independent now. You're safe. You feel safe. You're confident. You're strong. You're spiritual. Okay? You've learned from your mistakes. You've learned your lessons from the relationships. You've also learned a lot of self-love, willpower. And you're sitting in your Nine of Pentacles energy. But there are others who are still in this situation. Someone needs to leave. Someone needs to make plans on moving away from an abusive lover, baby's father, husband, boyfriend. I don't care who it is. It could be same sex. I don't care who it is. Spirit said it's time to go. Somebody need to make plans to leave a situation. When I was about 21 years old, I try not to make it too long, guys. When I was about 21 years old, but I've been seeing a lot of tools, balance, harmony, relationships. Okay? When I was about 21, I was very naive. Okay? Very naive. My first partner I had was 21. I was 21 years old. This person was 7 years older than me. And this person had already had a spouse. They weren't legally married, but they still lived under the same roof. Okay? And I was pretty much, like I said, naive and swindled in. And this person made me sound like a charity case to their spouse. Had their spouse feeling sorry for me. I was working and everything. I had my own job, my own car and all that. And I had just got my own place to stay. And this person wanted me to move into the home where they were. And I moved into that home. They were telling me how I could save my money and all that. They had it all mapped out. Little did I know, I was being used. Okay? And this is a person who fixed their mouth to use that four-letter word on me. And I believed it. I believed it because I was young and naive, looking for love in all the wrong places. That's why I believed it. Okay? I took them for their word. I took their word when they said, I love you. You know? I love you. And I really took that to heart. I thought they was telling me the truth. Till I realized what I was getting myself involved in. Not realizing what she was doing. Okay? I didn't realize what that person was doing. But they were very tricky. They were very deceptive. And they were a manipulator at the time, because what she was focused on was having more than one person under the roof to make money along with her spouse, to where she didn't have to work. That's what she wanted. Okay? Meanwhile, you're telling me about all this love stuff and what you want with me. What's love got to do with it? Because ain't nothing got to do with love in that situation. There is no love in that situation. It's just someone who's manipulating their way. They found someone young and naive to go along with it, and that was that. But it was for me to learn the lesson, because I've only had, what I could say, 2 real relationships in my life so far, where I actually live under the roof with a partner. And so in these relationships, I experienced being stripped of my confidence, my self-security, my self-love. I had no balance. I had no boundaries. It was a lot of conflict, arguing, fighting, and I had to find my way out of this situation. But it took a while to do, because first you got to learn your self-worth. What are you doing? Why are you here? Someone who wanted me to fight with them. They wanted their definition of love, their love language and their definition of love was different from mine. I thought love was peaceful and warm and inviting, because that's who I was. That's who I've always been. Most people call that weak. No, that's not weak. I'm not weak for being a genuine, loving person. Okay? But I had to know and learn that I'm not weak for that. Okay? But that's what I dealt with. Someone who took me in, and they made it seem like they wanted one thing with me when they wanted something totally different. Being deceptive. Okay? So I took those lessons, and even in the other relationship, I took the lessons and I decided to learn from those lessons, but I had to get hurt first. That's when the so-called love thing started hurting. But love is not supposed to hurt, remember? So if a person is lying to you, cheating on you, deceiving you, what's love got to do with that? How is that love? When a person think that you're supposed to fight with them, then have sex with them, or because I didn't punch you today and beat you down and made you subject to my control, you mean to tell me you think that I don't love you because I'm not abusing you? That confused me. And I still didn't pay attention to the red flag because I was still learning. And I'm like, that's not love. That's stupid. I don't want to beat you up and fight with you first. Who does that? So it didn't make sense anyway. But that was that person's definition of love. That was their love language. That was what they believed what love was to be. If you're not fighting on me and beating on me first, then you don't love me. That's sad. That you don't know what love is supposed to look like. And it's because of how people grow up. It has everything to do with your childhood. Okay? It has everything to do with that. So if a person that is watching this, if you're in a situation that's abusive, it doesn't matter about the gender. If you're in a situation that's abusive, especially if you have children, your children are watching you. They understand very well. They are watching. They can hear, they can see, they can feel. Okay? They're watching. Anytime you get cussed out and disrespected, anytime you get physically abused or mentally or verbally abused, emotionally abused, children, they know what's going on. Okay? And that worries the child. It worries the hell out of the child. The child shouldn't be worried about mama's safety. Okay? Or even men that go through it. There's men that go through abuse with women. You need to get away from this woman. Especially if you're dealing with a woman that might put you in a situation where you having to defend yourself against other men. You don't need to be involved in that. This is a person that loves conflict. They love drama. That person will get you hurt. You need to leave. Whoever's going through a situation, if you are in an abusive relationship, it's time to leave. It's time to plan, and it's time to leave. Like I said, some of y'all are single. Y'all already been through this. I'm just proud to know that you left. As I was growing up, I've been through the situation to where I've experienced the verbal abuse. I've even experienced the emotional abuse. Oh, I had somebody, boy, they tap danced all over my emotions. See, I can talk about it now because I'm over it, but at the time I wasn't. Okay? I had somebody who was still living in the same house with another spouse that they had a child for and was lying to me about it the whole time. And I was looking out for this person and their child. And they lied the whole time. It's just a form of manipulation. And this is somebody, I love you. I love you. How I say I love you, you don't want to say it back. That ain't nothing but game. That ain't nothing but game. And I didn't see these things. These are things I had to learn from, okay? You never get involved with someone who's already got a spouse. You never move in with somebody who's still married. I don't care if they are separated from their person. They're not divorced. And if they're not, you shouldn't be there. Straight up. So when it's about that 4-letter word, what's love got to do with you getting slapped around? What's love got to do with you getting embarrassed in front of people? What's love got to do with you being lied to, cheated on, used, abused, taken for granted, talked to any kind of way, slapped around, beat on? What's love got to do with that? Somebody leave it in the comments. I want to know, what's love got to do with it? I don't care if you do have children. I don't care if you have been with them since high school. What's love got to do with all the fighting, all the arguing? Unless that's just the life you enjoy, then have at it. But I don't. Well, that's kind of crazy and insane. If you're the kind that you like the violence, you like the fighting and the sex and all that together, you first we fight, then we. If that's what you like, to each his own. I'm here for those who need to move on before you lose your life. That's who I'm here for. Because somebody's going through something that's just that drastic. All right? If you have children, your children are watching you. If your children are 5 years old, 4 years old, 7 years old, 8, 9, they are watching you. They know what's going on. Children are very innocent. Therefore, their spirit is connected to the Most High. Children are very innocent, and that innocence of them is protected through the Most High and the angels above. There are spirits that protect children. All right? But those children know what's going on. And someone is going through a situation that they need to walk away from before it's too late. When I was 7 years old, I couldn't save my mother. I couldn't save her. I wanted to, but I couldn't do nothing about it. I was just a kid. Yeah, I could go call for help, but will help get here in time? Because a lot of violence turn into an obsession. A lot of time person turn up, they don't start out that way. But it ends up to where they become obsessed with you and your energy. And then you start hearing little things that most people don't pay attention to, them red flags. Yeah. You start hearing them little comments like, if you leave me, I'll kill you. Yeah. You start hearing those kind of comments. If I can't have you, nobody can. And nobody will. You start hearing them kind of comments. And it's just a red flag, just the red lights just going off, man, just going off. And somebody's not paying attention. But the thing is, I also understand a lot of times when women are involved with guys, especially their children's fathers, and you're going through this, no, it's not easy to leave. I never said it was. No, it's not easy to leave. There's planning involved. Sometimes the woman's not working. She's a housewife or a house mom, and he's the one that's bringing in all the money. He's the breadwinner, and you're not able to just take off and leave. Spirit say you need to make a plan. Plan. It's time to make a plan. Because you're not the only one that's suffering. The children suffer too. Okay? Because somebody's children is going through the abuse right along with you. Okay? And that's why I say I've had a front row seat to it. What's love got to do with that? Being knocked around. Hey, I've seen a man, and that's the man that did it to my mother. This man took a whole screwdriver one day and just wham, put it right through her hand. Caused her to lose her job. He did it on the job. Angry. Tripping with himself. That same man, I seen him raise a hammer and hit my mother right in the eye with it. Somebody need to hear this, man. It's serious. Domestic violence is serious. People losing their lives behind domestic violence. women coming up missing, men being too overly possessive, and vice versa. Some women are overly possessive as well. But you can't save someone who don't want to be saved. When you go into these relationships, man or woman, I've seen women do it. You go get a place to stay so y'all can have somewhere to live. That's not your job. As a woman, you are to be sheltered, as in provided for. You are to be secured, provided for, taken care of, protected as a woman. The man is the provider. He is the provider. He's supposed to go out and get the place to live, the roof over your head. Yeah, you're going to help him to maintain it, but that's his job to lay the foundation. That's a man's job as a leader, as the male gender, as the strong one. That's his job, lay the foundation. All right? And so, like I said, I had a front row seat of this. And my mother, she didn't make it. She did not make it. And I believe she didn't make it because she was afraid to leave. Okay? So for someone, this is for someone that needs to take a leap of faith. Someone needs to take a leap of faith. What's love got to do with it? What's love got to do with it, collective? For whoever's going through this, yeah, cutting things out that no longer serve. Somebody probably had to get a restraining order against somebody or call police. Probably been called so many times it ain't even funny. Somebody needs to get the strength and the willpower to leave. It's time to go. It's time to go. Yeah, new beginnings. New beginnings. Ace of Wands. New beginnings. Okay? Yeah. Standing up for yourself. Standing up for yourself. Blocking someone out. New beginnings. More new beginnings. Ace of Cups. Self-love. Self-love. Whoever this is for. Yeah, because where you're going towards will be something that will be very stable for you. And for some of you, it's been a long time coming for you to make a decision to cut out things that no longer serve you. But you're headed towards something that will be very stable for you. Yeah. Dealing with a lot of deception. Somebody's dealing with deception or putting up with deception. Yeah. Balance. Justice. Justice. Balance. Something need to be made fair or it will be. Something will be made fair. Yeah, someone may be trying to apologize to you or want to apologize to you. Some of you have already come out of this. You've come out of abusive relationship. And like I said, my mother didn't make it. And so Spirit is telling me to share the information from what I've been through. Someone's children and seeing them being abused. And it could be very well just, it don't even have to be physical. But see, that's where it starts. Manipulation, lies, cheating on you, lying to you, I ain't gonna do it no more, it ain't gonna happen no more, or whatever. Okay? Let me make up for it, let me make up for it, let me make up for it. Same old song, different day, right? Same old song, same old partner, right? Someone is dealing, even if it's not physical. That's the problem. You don't need it to get physical. It needs to end before it gets physical. Sometimes we stay in things way too long. Yeah, finding balance. Two of Pentacles. Deceptive, see? A deceptive family dynamic. Okay? Deceptive family dynamic. So you could very well have, like, separated from this person. Somebody could be separated. Or this person could be just like stalking you on every hand if you are still involved with this person. Okay, collective, take it how it resonates for you. If this doesn't resonate for you, that's fine. But if you tuned in according to that title, yeah, there's something here that resonates for you. Okay. Yeah. Somebody's gonna be putting an end to something. Something is gonna end. Somebody's gonna listen to this, and they're gonna end this situation. They're gonna end it. They're gonna end it. Yeah. If you've been through this already, you had a whole lot you had to rebuild by yourself on your own. You may have taken a lot of losses as well, financially. Ooh, man. But let's not forget you had to build yourself back up, right? You had to put the pieces back together, right? Yeah, some of you have left this situation already and this person is watching you. But you put an end to the confusion. You put an end to it, which is really good. Somebody put an end to a bad situation, a bad family dynamic. And you did the right thing, you see. It's a reason why I had to come on here. Somebody's already came out of this. You did the right thing. Yeah, you had to, it's like you had to balance out your thoughts. Like I said, you may have to balance out finances. You may have had to balance out and plan on what to do, which way to go, how do I do this? And the first thing somebody did was got a restraining order. King of Swords. That's the first thing somebody did. Justice and the King of Swords, somebody got a restraining order. Yeah, you taking a leap of faith somewhere else. Even if it's just to leave and be peaceful by yourself. Because I did see, yeah, even if it's just to be peaceful by yourself, somebody's come out of this situation. Because like I say, it was very traumatizing. Because that same person used to do that same type of abuse with my mother. But it got worse and it got worse and it got worse. She may have left one time and she went right back. And a lot of times women hold on to guys because of stability reasons. Sometimes there'll be agreements that's already been made. You know, she may have decided she want to go to school and take up some classes and get some kind of certification. He decided, okay, that's cool, go ahead and go to school, whatever you're going to do, and I'm going to go ahead and pay all the bills and take care of that till you come out of school. But somewhere along the line, hey, somebody got a little too overly frustrated. Some things start changing. Okay? And you may have regretted the fact that you even allowed yourself not to work just to go back to school. You may feel that way. So you may feel like you could be stuck with this person, or you may have felt like you was stuck with this person financially. Some people are staying because of children, not just finances, but children. Regardless of the deception, regardless of the lies, regardless of what you're finding out behind the scenes about the person, regardless. And some of you that may have been in some kind of violent relationship or domestic relationship, they may have just walked out on you. They could have just walked out on you. Okay? And really, if they did walk out on you, it's good that they did. Because I'd rather have someone walk out on me than to stay and abuse me and end up taking my life. And I'm only speaking again from my own personal experience, because as a child at 7 years old, I feel like I saw a little too much, but I was being protected unknowingly. At that time, I was being protected apparently, but I just wished at that time that it was something I could have done to save my mother. She left here in a very brutal way. It was like um, a nightmare, really, because I had nightmares for a very long time after that. I had a lot of nightmares. I could not sleep at night. I didn't want to sleep with no light off. Everything had to be on. I didn't sleep much. I basically became a night owl after that. But the way that she was murdered, it was execution style, okay? And children don't need to be seeing that kind of stuff. And so if you are a man or a woman and you're in an abusive relationship and the person that you're with is violent towards you, you need to separate yourself. You do. You need to separate yourself from that situation. And it's probably a violent cycle that needs to close, more than likely. Okay? Yeah, walking away, 8 of Cups. So, like I said, some of y'all already done walked away, and some of y'all need to walk away. Okay? And you need to walk away. High Priestess. You need to walk away. Some of you could be consulting with a spiritualist, someone who's highly spiritual or gifted, or, that can give you some insight about your situation, or can give you some spiritual knowledge or some wisdom. Some of you could be talking to someone who's older than you, who's a bit wise, who you talk to, and maybe they give you advice, to leave a situation or to plan the situation. Okay? And some of you who need to leave the situation, if you do have children, I feel like if you make the decision to leave, I feel like the Most High will provide for you. That's how I feel. You will be provided for, you and your children. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. Because men leave abusive women too. Men leave, they take their son and they leave, or they take their daughter and they leave, or all their kids, whatever. Men leave abusive women just as well. Okay, guys? And the question here is, the main subject is, what's love got to do with it? When it comes to abuse, when it comes to your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your physical health. What's love got to do with it? If you are being abused, that is not love. Some people mistaking abuse for love. Somebody got to cuss you out to prove they love to you. Somebody got to slap you around and draw blood from you and then be intimate with you to prove they love you. Something is wrong with that. There's a lot of childhood trauma to that. At least that's what that sounds like. That sounds like a lot of childhood trauma and unhealed wounds. When a person, they enjoy that type of environment. Beat me, and then let's go get intimate. That makes no sense to me. But there are some people who are okay with that. Like I said earlier, to each his own. To those of you who, like I said, are dealing with this situation, you really want to plan and come out of this situation, please do so. You will be able to do it. But you got to make up your mind to do it. You have to have the willpower to do it, the confidence to do it. And don't be afraid. Release all fears. If you have to get a restraining order, do so. But once you do so, you have to also stay away from that person. You can't get a restraining order today and be back 2 days later. You have to be serious about it. Don't do anything you're not serious about. This is for those who take it seriously, because this is serious. When it comes to losing your life in a domestic violent relationship, when it comes to that, your life matters. I don't care if you white, black, Hispanic, blue, or purple. Your life matters. Trust me. Somebody love you. Somebody really do love you and want to see you live, including your children who's under the roof with you. A lot of people have children who go through this because that's who it be from. They experience this violence and all these projections of insecurities and things and childhood traumas and unhealed wounds. That's what's coming from the abuser. There's a lot needs to be healed. And it's no shade to nobody, but everybody have different things they need to deal with concerning their childhood, concerning trauma, unhealed wounds. Everybody has something they need to deal with, because most people have been through violence at a young age, growing up in a household, mostly with step parents and stuff like that, mom and daddies that are not with the other biological parent. And then there are those who, because that's how I was. He wasn't my biological father. My mother was with another guy, and she bared 2 children for that man. That's the same man that took her life. It wasn't my dad. She wasn't with my dad. So there's a lot of people who went through that, and it wasn't their biological parent. It was a step parent or whatever, whoever their mom or dad was with. The abuser, okay? A lot of people have been through this. So it's no shade to anyone. But I will be obedient and bring the message forth and hope that someone will take their lessons and walk and learn, help somebody else. Or if someone who is in it, make plans to get out of it. Please. For your children's sake first, and for your sake. Make plans to get out of it. No one deserves to be abused. And if you do feel like you deserve it, you need really to have a lot of self-love for yourself. You need to love yourself more. You do not deserve to be abused. No, you don't. Nobody does. All right, guys? Whoever this was resonating for, I hope that it helped to understand real true love don't hurt, man. I don't know who came up with that. Love is not pain. You will learn lessons, but love is not pain. That is not the definition of love. Okay? I don't know what folks get that from. That's such a it's like a mishandled way of speaking about love. Something that's real and true and authentic, unconditional. That don't mean everybody carry it. No. But it do exist. And the true definition of unconditional love has nothing to do with you being brokenhearted, with you being left out in the cold, with you being left for dead, with you being slapped around or beat on, with you being lied to, deceived, embarrassed, made to feel small or inferior or to feel worthless. That is not love. That is not the definition of love. No. But you will run into people who think that it is. But it's their way of abusing it to have their control, to gain control. Has nothing to do with love. Period. Period. I just hope that someone was said that can help someone move forward and bring clarity to you. Okay? Because my experience is losing a parent. All right? To a domestic violent relationship. So I was given the message to bring it forth to someone else. And I hope that it helps. Do yourself a favor. Do your children a favor. Give your children a chance. Don't allow them to be traumatized. Maybe you are afraid of the spouse. It's okay to be afraid. Make plans. Get that restraining order. But you got to have boundaries too. That means you get the restraining order and you make the plans, That don't mean go back. Because I was once advised by an elder, when it comes down to leaving a situation that's domestically violent and abusive that can cost you your life, when it comes down to leaving that situation and you go back, it don't get better. It get worse. For whoever needs to hear it, I hope this helps. Until next time, collective, I do appreciate you guys for being here. Take it as it resonates for you. Again, if you drew in by the title, something had to be there for you. Until next time, guys, take care.